What's your sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
I actually get along with Capricorn.
Period.
I be surprised every time.
They be trying us. They be trying us.
Understandable though.
Why?
Because Capricorns are very stubborn. I mean, stubborn as fuck.
I feel like I'm not that bad.
But you know what it is? Mm-hmm. Stubborn. They're like stubborn, but they're like also perfectionists, and they have this vision. It has to be done this way, or it's like, or it's just not enough.
Right.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But if I'm working with you and you being, because I'm just such a free spirit and like creative, so that's where we differ. But that's why I think that's why I work with Capricorns well, because
it's a good balance.
I'm like, it's fine.
You're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It needs to be like this.
Yeah.
I've been trying to give myself more grace with that and understanding that perfection is perfection in the moment. It may not be like the final product that you want, but it's what you can give at this time, especially in an industry where there's like deadlines and all types of stuff. Like you just have to compromise in some way.
Also, the bar is so low now that just niggas who give a fuck are enough.
Do something.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's like, damn, we don't even really have to do too much. Right. I mean, not that I'm saying like don't go. Yes.
Yeah.
Like. It's like
you could just do like the bare minimum, and it's already like more than half these people are doing.
It's actually sickening though, because I be looking like you not even
doing that. I literally, like I said, I just be checking my timeline, I just be observing. I'm not want to talk about nobody, but I just be looking like, okay,
yeah, I'm over it.
What is meant for me is meant for me. What is meant for the other girls, men's, and whatever, it's for them. You know,
I don't get it. I want somebody to explain. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, right. Because I'd be like, oh, shoot.
So you grew up in Philly, like Philly, or like outside Philly? No, you gotta ask.
I know. It depends on where I'm at. Like if I'm in LA, I say just Philly because I say where I'm actually from. They're like, I don't care. I don't know where that's from. Yeah. But I was born in Philly, raised in Huntington Valley, so like suburbs.
Okay. I don't know where that's at.
Philly and Philly adjacent. Like I had a lot of family in like Nicetown and Kensington, so I was always over there. But like my home spot was in the suburbs with the white people. So can't lie, I'm not one of those people that's gonna act like I'm very upfront and real. I had a really great life growing up.
Ain't nothing wrong with being that. Like I feel like I be reading the comments on YouTube, even though I know I shouldn't, but on Breakfast Club YouTube, and they all be like. They be letting these suburban girls do anything, or like, oh my gosh, she talks so proper, and it just be like, one, I don't even think I talk proper, but I don't talk illiterate, and I don't have an accent.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Also, it's like, I don't know, just why would you want to make me feel bad because I'm from the suburbs? It's so stupid.
Right.
As if black people don't have enough trauma no matter what part of status that you're in.
I mean, I just look at it like I think there's a stigma against it, but I'm just like, I'm not going to lie to nobody. Yeah. I'm not going to be someone that I'm not. Mm. I'm not going to act like, I grew up in an environment that I didn't grow up in. I've seen a lot of it, but like.
I'm tired of that though. I'm tired of like hood shit getting so much praise. Like making it out the hood, rags to riches is always inspiring.
Absolutely.
But we don't have to like praise hood shit as if that's like the way that we should be living.
Right. Like I said, to me, it's like if you lived it, you lived it. Yes. If you didn't, stop trying to be something that you're not. Like I said, I'm just not going to do that because I feel like it takes away from those people that have actually lived through it and gone through that hardship. I don't need no sob story. My life is traumatic enough. So, you know what I mean? Like, that don't even need to be nothing for me. So, yes, suburb kid, pretty much.
Understand. All right, we together.
Period. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Amorphous. You might have seen and heard my work on the Renaissance World Tour with Beyonce. What's up, Nyla? We need to talk.
What's up, guys? Nyla Symone here from We Need to Talk. As you know, we drop 2 interviews a week, each and every Monday and each and every Thursday. Brand new exclusive content from your favorite celebrities, influencers, whoever. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on. And make sure you guys just share, tell a friend to tell a friend, drop a comment, show your girl some love, all right? All right, we can get into it.
See, look at this thing. You have such a free spirit, like you said. I just wanted to say that. That's why I wanted to do this. I really just wanted to just chat with you and have a good old time and just have like hopefully a long-term friendship because I could just see like a similarity between them.
Oh my God, I love that. That's why when you hit me up, I'm like, oh, of course.
I appreciate that.
Let's figure it out.
Period.
And
we did. Straight out the airport. I'm not missing this.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
Because it's a lot to travel from the airport and then it is.
I wasn't going to miss it. I was like telling my Uber driver, I said, do you need an extra tip? Because I promise you just keep going a little through. We'll get
I
here.
feel that. Okay, well, what's going on, guys? And welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. Now, I have a very special guest in the building today. We have Amorphous in here. How are you?
Yo, what's up? I am so good. I am tired. Just got off the flight, girl. I'm ready to just go home.
Where are you at? Because I know you've been traveling around the world with Queen B. You know,
where am I at, mentally or physically?
You've been doing a lot.
I've been doing a lot, and I'm not used to it. Like I said, I'm a homebody. I like to sit home, play Call of Duty with my friends.
You be on COD?
Bro, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I be on. Like, you look at my little Xbox gamer tag, you like, dang, why you on that level?
What's the name?
This for the group chat, sister. This for the group chat. You know, some people are a little crazy.
That's true. Yeah, you know. Do you be on the headset?
I sure do.
Do you really?
They be trying me.
So why you be on the headset?
Because they be trying me.
Man, it ain't worth it. They like Instagram comments. I don't even be on, but
you know what? It's worth it for me. Okay, so I have 2 accounts. Okay. So I have like my account where like I'm who I am.
Yeah.
I have another account because people just be playing. Yeah. So I make sure I get up on there like you can talk all that shit you want, but look, I might be all cute and innocent, but I got a mouth too. I ain't just gonna let nobody talk to me crazy.
Yeah,
we get away with some crazy stuff.
No, it be getting spicy on the game. I ain't gonna lie.
And then they be getting mad when they look at my KD ratio, and then they see me win, and I just be like, it's light work, you know.
Yeah, how long you been playing?
Ooh. I've been playing since like World at War, so like 2008.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. You're a vet.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
All right, cool. So you're a homebody, but you haven't been home. You've been traveling the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Prior to even, let's back up for those who aren't familiar, actually, because they might not even know who this is I'm talking to. But just for those who don't know who Amorphous is, who is Amorphous?
My name is Amorphous. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm a producer, filmmaker, DJ. Might have made your favorite mashup. I've been around. If you know me, I'm in the streets. If you don't, welcome. Yes.
Let's start with the DJ and the mashups, because that's how I got introduced to you during the pandemic. Were you expecting your mashups to take off like that? Like, what was the plan?
No, I was in the trenches in 2020. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to DJing and mashups, I want to say I started DJing and doing that in like 2016, but I've been producing since I've been like 6. So for me, it was just kind of like, it's a completely different mindset that I put myself in. So it's kind of like an outlet. Just like if I don't feel like making an actual track and like coming up with ideas myself, just straight up from production, I'm like, girl, I can just do a little mix or a mashup. Like people be saying my mind is just like a little jukebox. Like you'll hear a song on the radio, here I am mixing it with something. They're like, Jameer, shut up. Can we just hear the original? And I'm like, girl, no. But yeah, during 2020, it was really, really hard year for a lot of people. And I had just lost like my grandfather. And so I was like really, really sad. I was like in this really bad place. And my friend was like, why don't you use TikTok? I said, why the hell would I use that? I said, that's just not me. She was like, girl, just upload your stuff on there. People already know your music, but they haven't necessarily attached it to like you as a brand in your face.
Right.
As soon as I started using it, like things just took off for me. So it was a really interesting experiment and just like trusting even other people's kind of like vision of what they see for you. And just like, I guess for me, it was like, I knew that the person had the best interest for me. It wasn't going to let me do something that was like too crazy, because social media is a lot. But it ended up working out. It got me to where I am today, and I'm very blessed.
Man, that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to your homegirl who told you to start uploading.
Thank you, sister. You know who you is.
When people say, like, I just want to hear the original, I hate that. Because I used to be that person, too, until I actually started like doing mashups and producing, and now I enjoy it because it's kind of like bringing just a new life to records.
Absolutely. And that's how hip hop got started. You know what I mean? When you talk about sampling and taking records and breathing new life into it, that's what it is. And I have so much respect for original bodies of work, clearly, as someone that does it myself. But at the same time, like, it ain't no harm. Girl, you can listen to the original. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? If my mind was to mix something, girl, that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm here.
I love that. So you brought a whole new life to Fat Joe record, Rihanna's acapella. That was like the one.
Yeah, that was the one.
Who reached out to you first?
Joe, he reached out on Instagram. That was such a funny story. Oh my God. Every time I tell it, you about to hear my Fat Joe impression, child. I was really just minding my business on Instagram. I hadn't never like really looked at my requests, so they were just kind of like piling up, kind of like T-Pain story or whatever.
Love that.
And so randomly, I was like, let me just check it. I think it was like December 6th. And the first person there was Fat Joe, and he was like, yo, hit me. And I was like, what the hell does Fat Joe want to talk about? Just honestly, I know what the hell he wants to talk about. So, he sends me his number. I call him. I'm sitting there. I have it all on video, too. It's hilarious. He's like, yo, Amorphous, young king, young legend. Yo, that Rihanna, that Luther. I'm a big Luther fan. Yo, you inspiring the streets. Yo, I want to turn that into a record. I said, you want to what? I said, what's happening right now? And he turns the camera around and DJ Khaled's there and he's like, another one. And I'm like, just trying to, literally, that's verbatim what he said, another one. I said, ooh, shoot, okay.
No.
And so then, we kind of just started talking about it, about the logistics of it all. And it was really, again, a beautiful experience because I feel like, especially now in this current climate, there's been a lot of talk of like the predatory side of the industry, you know what I mean? Especially within that time frame. Yeah. But for me, in my experience, working with Joe and even with Khaled, it was like super like, I'm about my business, y'all about your business, and that's that. You're not going to necessarily get away on anything with me, and I don't think they necessarily try to do that. But I definitely went into that situation like really protective and ended up being protected in that. So it worked out really great.
That is so lovely to hear because a lot of people do have predatory experiences, but I'm happy to hear that you didn't go through that. I also haven't gone through that either.
Thankfully.
And I think, now with social media and stuff like that, it's just scary times to even try to act out. But prior to, like, DJing, what was the goal? Like, did you go to college? Were you...
Yeah, so I so like I said, I've always been like kind of doing music since I was little. I was beatboxing when I was like 3. Like I would listen to like Ali on the radio and do Try Again, and like have my cap on backwards. Have my friends like they would play some Jay-Z or whatever, and I'd be rapping that. Like I was always a music kid.
Friends for
I'm telling you, we could have had a little rap group. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I always knew I wanted to do music per se, but I also had like a really, really big love for film. Like Titanic was my favorite film. Everyone used to like, bully me about it. They're like, why you watch that chick flick? I'm like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Rose and Jack. I'm worried about how the movie was made and all of that. So, for me, I always had that personality as a young kid of like a certain level of confidence. I wouldn't say it was a cockiness, but when my teachers would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd be like, I want to be a singer. I want to be a producer. And through time and just through the hard work, like, and through, for me, I believe in God, and I'm just so grateful to have that faith. It's given me this lifetime of a career that I know is going to last for a long time. So that's how I started.
That is fire.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so you definitely knew you wanted to do film. DJ, so like what was the timeline, I guess, because the DJ and the mashup that took off first. So then how did you end up becoming film director working with Beyonce?
Girl, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out, honestly. But
was it really your tweets of tweeting and manifesting?
I think it was.
Because you're kind of motivating me to want to put out there my tweets. I'm so
serious. I be forgetting some of the stuff I tweeted. And then I'm like, what? This just happened. Let me just go see if I even tweeted that.
The internet
and then I did.
Forget, yeah.
No. They be quoting it like, look what happened. I'm like, dang, I didn't even remember. But honestly, again, like when it came to me creatively, I've always done stuff for myself. I'm my biggest like fan. I never want to be someone who just does stuff just for like a check. Well, depending on what the check is, but you know what I mean. There has to be a level of enjoyment coming from me. And so when it came to, again, during the pandemic and just like grinding and putting work out, it wasn't necessarily like there wasn't a strategy. It wasn't like I'm going to put this work out and blow up tomorrow. It was just like, I'm just doing this. Hopefully some other people, feel the music and the stuff that I'm creating. And through that and tweeting and saying, I'm going to work with Roland, I'm going to work with Beyonce, I'm going to work with Kehlani. I think just seeing I think a lot of people saw my spirit during that time, including those people. Yeah. And that transcends anything, It doesn't matter how talented I was. If I didn't have a genuine spirit, I wouldn't have attracted genuine people. And all the people that I have surrounded myself with in this industry have been that. So, yeah, like Kehlani was my first artist that I had like ever worked with on that caliber or that level. Even previous to like, with the Sunshine record with Joe and Khaled, I wasn't necessarily in the studio with them. It was like a lot of back and forth. They in Miami, I'm over here doing my thing. Yeah. But to like be in a studio with an artist like a Kehlani, and then to be told while you're in that studio that you're not working on her project, they want to be on your project. I'm like, okay. So now I'm like leading the session. It was a beautiful learning experience, but it helped pave the way to an experience of like working with, Beyonce and, the legends of this industry.
Man, that is crazy.
Thank you, sister.
So crazy.
Yeah.
But I love that for you.
Thank you so much.
I really do. So, okay, tell me what was, I guess, like the biggest thing you've learned in working with these caliber of artists? Because that just doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, I know. It's like, again, like I don't really look at myself like, I try not to look at myself as like a celebrity or anything, because I feel like when you do that, it puts a lot of pressure on you, and I'm not trying to be that. All I want to do is just inspire people. Yeah. But like, I'm not gonna lie, there's certain levels of people that when you go and meet them, you just get the butterflies. Like, I don't know, you just start to freeze. Yeah. The biggest thing, again, that I've learned is, like, I would not be here if I was not supposed to be here. I wouldn't be in those rooms. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes we can be our biggest enemy. We could block our own blessings. We can overthink certain things of, well, how exactly am I supposed to be here, and how do I navigate these rooms? And it's just like, I'm just going to trust myself. I've gotten myself here to just being that. Why change that? And it's similar to, like, talking about just like manifesting things. Even just a few weeks before I knew I got the Beyonce gig, I was trying to get into the Rock Nation brunch. I was supposed to get in, and then something happened with the capacity, and I was, ooh, girl, I looked so dapper that day. I looked fine. Okay. And I was like,
I'm the pig off? No pig off.
No.
I don't know what hurts more, but you can rewear the outfit.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you know what? They gonna see her. I might, just save that for something else. So, but I remember just saying to myself, like, I was low-key devastated. I'm like, dang, like, I feel like that's the room I'm supposed to be in. But I had a conversation with myself and a conversation with God, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to meet Beyonce by working with her. This is what's going to happen. I know that, like, this would not be happening, all these different, like, synchronicities for no reason. And then 2 weeks later, I got the call just out of the blue. So it was just a really big lesson. That's the biggest lesson. Again, just to trust myself and to trust the journey and not to question it.
That is insane.
Yeah. It's a crazy time. I was crying. I was on the floor praising the Lord.
Okay, wait, so how did your mom feel? I know you always post your mom, but I know she has to be thrilled.
Well, it was so funny because, Beyonce don't play about her NDAs. So I'm like, look, I love my mom, and if there's anybody that ever told anything, it's my mom, but my mom has loose lips, so I had to really protect that. Yeah. So I wasn't able to say anything to my mom until May 10th, the first night in Stockholm. Yeah. And she just blows up my phone all the time. I love her. And, I would never change that for anything. That's just parents. Yeah. But I'm sitting there on set. I thought my phone was a do not disturb, but I forgot that I have her as a favorite. So we're sitting there working. It's like, I'm like, I can't even tell my mom what I'm doing. You know what I mean? She's calling. But she was so proud. My mom is really not a lot of, I feel like this, a lot of kids, especially in our community, have parents that will fully support them in their creative endeavors since childhood. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I'm very blessed that I had that support system within my parents, where it was like, whatever I wanted to do, they would get it for me. If I needed a new MacBook, they would get it, because they understood that I wasn't, I knew that all the hard work they were doing wasn't just in vain. You know what I mean? Like, they were putting a lot of time and effort to make those things happen. So I wasn't asking for the new Call of Duty. I made sure I saved up my little allowance or whatever. I was asking my dad, like, hey, can you get this, keyboard gear or something to help me manifest my craft? My mom, she screamed so loud. I was like, just the most beautiful experience. And, it's a blessing to know that both of my parents are still around to see that their hard work has manifested into something beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It's like, people always think that once they see you, it's like overnight success. Like, how did he get so lucky? Nobody knows the 10,000 hours you've put in prior to that.
No.
So,
there's a lot. I look 100,000 hours. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Even when we were speaking before we got on the camera, like, I think one of the things that I feel like my legacy has been so far, because I'm all about that. I'm all about thinking 5, 6, 7 generations ahead.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of like messages from people that have said, like, I'm going through a really hard time. I've read your interviews. I've heard your stories about your hard times in LA or just in your childhood. I think that outside of the music, like, again, transcends everything. And you always want to use your voice and your platform to be able to give those people that were in your same position that ammunition to keep going, to know they're like not alone. So that's always been like my motto to everything I do.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Okay. All right. I know you said the NDAs is tight, so I'm gonna dance around the questions. Okay. I'm not gonna ask too much, but okay. What do I want to know? Did you have like a vision in mind? I guess I'm asking more so about the creative process. Yeah. Anything. But did you already have like a vision in mind and then you like pitched it and painted it? Or was it more so just like a collaborative thing where everybody came together, you know, did like a Pinterest board, this is what we want, this is how it's going to be, and that's how it came together? I'll speak
as objectively and like broad as possible, as if it's not who I'm talking about.
Okay, cool.
About how I approach just my creative process in general.
Fair, yes.
I think I'll get away with that. Okay. Love you, Yvette. So for me, it was like, first of all, everything happened really, really quick, you know, the timeline of everything. But I have always been a very spontaneous person. I'm all about feeling. If it feels right, then I'm good. If it sounds right, then I'm good. And I can say that, like, for me, when it comes to a vision, like, when I'm working on my own music, I have a vision. When I'm working on, like, film projects, I have a vision. When I'm doing mixes and mashups, unless I'm doing, like, a concept album myself, I'm all about the feeling, and then that'll craft itself. But one thing that I can say, I mean, y'all seen it, I don't even got to say it, you know, like, this was a very curated show. Like, every single thing was thought out. But I think having someone like me on board with the team who just was like, why don't you try this, or why don't you do that? I think that was beneficial in the sense that not everything needs to be so, like, structured. And you can find some gems through that way. And I think, you know, with some of the artists that I've worked with, a lot of them work in that similar way. Like, if you're cutting a record and you're starting fresh from a new idea, a lot of artists will start mumbling just melodies down. If for me, mumbling and stumbling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they'll just kind of like let their mind roam free. And so when it comes to mixes and stuff, like, maybe I'll try to use an example that, like, didn't make the cut. For example, like Virgo's Groove, you know, I'll listen to a song like that. I'm like, oh, maybe this reminds me of like an Isley Brothers track, or like that feeling that it gives me. Maybe there's something we could do there. So I try to be as helpful as I possibly can be, but also like understand my place in all of this. Of
course, yeah.
That's, I guess, again, that's like another big lesson is like, being in these rooms, I can be a little like hard on myself of like, well, maybe I shouldn't say anything. It's like, when you work on that level, you got to say something because that's why you are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a crazy experience.
Man, that's so awesome. Okay. I love that. And I also just like you, or hearing you mention just like, it's about the feeling. Because a lot of people are afraid to act on like their impulse and like their feelings. And it does take a certain level of confidence to trust your gut, essentially, because that's what you're doing. Were you always like that, or did that take time to develop?
I've always been like a people pleaser. I think that's like, even just now in my personal life, I think that's something that like I'm really like girl. We working on it. We're doing the hard work.
Yeah.
But I know that for myself, like there's that voice in your head that says, do this or don't do that. And sometimes for the sake of like other people or just like not wanting to like ruffle any feathers, I can go against that, even though I know that's like not the way to go. And even like that goes to like every facet of life. That goes to like your friendships, your relationships, to the industry. So it's like, it's so funny because I was talking to my manager and I was like, child, it feels like this last month and a half, I've been kind of like feeling that on all levels. But that just means that I know that I'm growing within myself. And, you know, when you talk about having an impact on people, you never want to seem like you're being like a bitch to people.
Right.
But at the same time, like you have to have a level of assertiveness in this industry, even into your friendships. Yeah. So what was the original question?
No, you answered it. Yeah, you just said you have to have a certain level of assertiveness.
So I think I kind of had that quality in me when I was younger. It's just like, I say that for the group chat. You know what I mean? Then I'll say how I really feel about stuff. But understanding that, like, I have a voice, and that voice has gotten me to where I am. I wouldn't be here without it. And it doesn't have to be in a negative connotation, you know what I mean, to speak up for your own creative freedoms in this industry. Yeah,
it's definitely a balance. I mean, the whole... what did you say, people pleaser thing. I feel like a lot of us suffer with that. I forget what book I was reading or audiobook I was listening to, and it was saying that like 60% of people are people pleasers, and then 40% are like narcissists who take advantage of the people pleaser. So I was like, damn. Yeah, I don't want to be on the extreme end.
Either. I just want to be like in the middle. Like,
so
how do you
boundaries.
be selfish but also giving?
Yeah.
And I know for myself, like, I've always been that person. Like, girl, I'm emotional. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people like say Capricorns aren't like that, but
I need to know your moon and your rising. My moon is Cancer, so
I know that I have like a lot of Aquarius in my stuff,
really?
Which is interesting. But I feel like I don't really
Aquarius
identify with that.
No feelings,
right?
Well, they do, but
they don't show it. But I'm like, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm such an open book. I'm like, oh my god, like I will cry right here if you talk to me about something going on. I'll be like, Nyla, you need a hug. That's just who I am. But that's gotten me in like a lot of hot water. Even again, like dealing with a certain amount of like, you know, people see you have like a certain amount of followers, or they see like you blowing up, and then it's like the moment that you can't really do something for those people, even though you've given so much of yourself to those people, it's like, oh, now it's like an issue. And I think that's just never been the way that I've operated. I'm like, if you show up for me in my life, one, as a friend, and just in the most basic sense, if you're there for me during my hard times, you don't need to be there when I'm up. But if you're there for me during my hard times and vice versa, that's fine. Right. I don't need any transactions from you. That's all I need, is like that level of support. And the reason, again, why I bring that up is because, again, like everything that you apply from your friendships and your relationships, I try to apply that to how I work in the industry, because those are still genuine people. A lot of people get that twisted, where it's like, you look at a Beyonce, you look at, you know, Kelly Roland, and Kehlani, and it's like, it's so easy to see the celebrity side of it, but these are genuine human beings that you want to have a long-term relationship with. Look, I would love to work with Miss B for the rest of time, but at the same time, it's like, I want to make sure that I cultivate a relationship that's, you know, trusting, and know that like I'll be there for you, whatever you need. Life is too short for it to just be about like what's happening in our careers.
I mean, absolutely. I'm reading currently Jada Pinkett's book, and a quote in there that she has is, "Friendship is the highest form of intimacy." And I love that quote so much, because if people would really just value people for people, you know what I mean? All that other stuff just falls in line when the timing is right. You know,
and understanding that, like, I've also had the issue of like, I think people have always kind of been like, oh, I hope you don't change, because the industry can change you.
Man, they tell me that all the time. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little more jaded for sure. I am definitely a little more jaded, but I'm still like sweet. But now I'm more assertive, like you said.
Right,
like,
and it's about discernment. It's discernment. Discernment for me. It's like, I struggle with that all the time. It's like, you don't want to become like bitter because of like how people do things, but at the same time, it's like, again, like the moment that you pull back even just a little bit, then it's like people want to treat you like the villain. It's not even like that. I
know.
It don't even be that.
I can only imagine, because you have, you know, heavy hitters behind you supporting you, again, like the follower account. So I can only imagine like how much people are hitting you up. It's like they change around you before you even get
before I can blink. And it's like, which is crazy, is because I've always looked at, like, you know, working with Beyonce, that was always my biggest dream. I was like, yo, I'm at the pinnacle of my career. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm not. You know, with all this stuff. I know. Yes. And so I'm like, within that, I'm trying to make sure that I set all the right boundaries now within myself, so that way I don't have to deal with it on a higher level later. Yeah. Because it's only going to keep going. And, you know, same for you. Like, you know, we're both doing like really, really big stuff, you know what I mean? And not like, again, not in a cocky way, but like we have an impact, and we can really set, you know, our friends, our peers, the next generation up for success. And my biggest thing is like wanting to show people you can have this amount of success and furthermore without having to compromise your morals and your values and change. Yes. So it's always funny when people are like, I hope you don't change, or you change. I said, girl, look, I know myself. You know what I mean? I know my heart. I know my spirit. And at the same time, you know, people, you're never going to be the prince in everyone's narrative. Yeah. And I had to like accept that, you know what I mean? I just had to learn to be sure within myself and my place on this earth. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect. You know, nobody is perfect. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm objective. I look at things from people's point of view, but if I don't agree at the end of the day, I'm like, girl, I think I'm pretty good with where I'm at. Understood. You know, so it's definitely a learning curve. Yeah. Navigating through this. Man, yeah, industry talk. Yeah. But again, like even just when you meet good people, it feels good though. Yes. Like, even when you first came in, I'm like, oh my God,
Good
because
vibes.
you know what it doesn't have to be that, and that's so frustrating. Like I've gone into some sessions. I ain't gonna name no names, child, but I've gone to some sessions, and the energy is just like
the artist persona.
It's half the time it don't even be the artist, it be their friends. Like you ain't even supposed to be there. Right, you ain't even supposed to be there. Like I'm cool with the artist. Like it's good, you know. When I come into, I could be I just got off this flight. I am tired. Yeah. I have to do a set at 1:30 a.m. But I still came in here. Like, first of all, I asked to be here. But I still came in here with a smile on my face and just good energy. But sometimes people like...
Dang, where you at 1:30?
Cafe or Zuli in Brooklyn.
Oh, my God. I love Cafe.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little Amapiano set. It's going to be cute. It's going to be fun. What you doing tonight?
I might have to pull up on you.
Let me know, girl.
I literally told everybody I'm not going out tonight. I'm reading and I'm watching movies.
What you reading
I'm
right
tired.
now?
I got to finish Jada's book. I'm almost done. Mm-hmm. And then I go to the bookstore and I buy like 5 books at a time. So
I love that. People don't appreciate reading enough.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about myself because, like, you know, right? Be me. But you know, that's something I really want to get back into.
You should. I'm gonna say I just finished. Quincy Jones has this book called the 12 Notes of Life, but it's like music. I don't know why
I thought you were about to say the 12 Commandments, and I said that's what his book is titled. Period.
Yo, no, I was about to get into this long conspiracy, but nonetheless, damn, if you do your set, I might bring it to you because I think you'll like it.
Okay, yeah.
1:30.
Let me know because I'm always in New York. So if this doesn't work out this time, girl, look, your self-care time is so important. I get it. Like, and you've been grinding. Like I just saw I was on a plane. I said, wait a minute. You just interviewed Omarion. Hold up.
Oh my God, yeah.
I said, period.
My whole childhood. I told him before, I think, hopefully not during the interview. I be trying not to fan out.
Right.
Even though I'd be like hella excited. But like, man, I had the Word Up magazine of all the B2K members, and I literally had your poster on my wall. You was my favorite. Him and J Book. People be sleeping on J Book.
Period. They really do. Okay.
Sorry, Omarion.
Well,
he's right there, though.
You cute, too, but like, let's be for real, you know? Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Well, not to switch the interview around on you, but I'm just always so curious. Like, how has it felt for you to have this platform and this safe space for people?
This is my baby and my project passion, like my passion project. Sorry.
No, I get it.
But like I started off doing college radio and like DJing in college. And I ended up interning. I used to intern for the Source magazine, doing articles and stuff like that. And then I got into radio, interning under Angie Martinez.
Oh my God, I love her. Legend. Yeah, That's crazy.
And she taught me a lot. Like, she taught me the ins and outs of radio. And then also, like, on her show, she would let DJs rotate. Yeah. So, like, every day I'm meeting a new DJ or, like, DJs that I used to listen to or, you know, used to buy their songs. So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm meeting these people. Yeah. And watching them, I would learn and, like, get better. Then I was, like, learning from Clue. And he would be like, do this. You know, stop doing that. Like, he taught me a lot, too. So, long story short, it was just, like, a lot of politics to the point where I just was tired of it. And, I just jumped out the window and bought us. This is an office space, and I just turned it into a podcast. A
place. And, you know, that's, like, again, hearing stories like that is so inspiring. Like, I knew a little bit about that, obviously, because I be doing my research. I'm a fan. But at the same time, like, hearing it come from you and just, like, you speaking of that, I hope that gives you a lot of joy. Just knowing, like, again, the safe space that you're creating here, but also the safe spaces that you're going to continue to create for people.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, I'm really excited about it because, you know, I'm not doing it for clickbait moments or, you know, just for anything like that. Like, I feel like I'm just a fan of the culture and I just like having people, you know, talking to people that I'm fans of and highlighting the things that I like, you know what I mean?
And connecting on a real level. Like anytime I was watching like an episode, I'm like, I just want to connect with her. I mean, we can go up on here and talk about whatever. But I was like, I just want to connect. And again, I'm all about giving people their flowers. So I just want to make sure I extended that to you for you to know that.
Thank you so much.
Of course, sister. Man, I got you.
Yeah, that is so awesome, for real.
For sure.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people do that. They just just show up and they just want to run their mouth. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
But that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, you're not even here to promote nothing right now.
No. Like, literally, I'm just here to talk and just talk about topics and life and just, like, chat.
You know, most people
if we talk about promotion, well, there is one thing that's coming out.
Oh, what's coming out?
Go see the Renaissance film. It's going to be a good one. If you did not go to the show, if you did go to the show, go see it again.
Yeah.
Go see it again. Go support Miss
I'm going to be there. I can't wait.
Where are you going?
Where?
What show you going
Isn't
to?
that AMC?
Yeah, but like, do you have your tickets already?
No.
Oh, see.
I need to get it.
Now they put you on the black.
Is it gonna sell out?
It might. Especially you in New York.
I know.
Girl.
Hopefully I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out. But I just saw a headline that said she's gonna be in Vegas soon. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll get
I don't know nothing about that. My head is.
Okay, that's fine. So, moving forward, because you've already, like, your pinnacle moments that you thought you would reach later in life, you reach so much faster. Yes. So it's like, what's next? Where do you see yourself? And I'm actually really curious, like, film-wise, what is it that you want to do? Because having a keen ear for music and then also having an eye for film, I feel like oftentimes is not a thing. So the directions that you can go with that can be crazy. Yeah. What are you?
I've been really intentional about the film stuff because I've been screaming it from the heaventops. I mean, a lot of people that have followed me from the beginning, I've done a couple like documentaries on my own. I did a documentary on Aaliyah, favorite artist of all time, love her down. And I did that while I was in film school just because I was bored. Like it's the same thing with the mashups. I was just bored. So when I'm bored, I create. And then I did one on Rihanna, and she ended up watching that. So that's when I was kind of like, oh, okay, like people are paying attention to the stories that I have to tell, even when I'm not really trying. And I've definitely gotten hit up, like, over the years, especially around that 2020 moment with, like, projects and stuff, but it just didn't make no sense. You know what I mean? I'm all about, like, bringing my support system along with me on a journey and a narrative. As much as I could have like oversaturated myself and seen like I was just like an industry plant popping off and just now I'm everywhere.
Do you get pissed when people say that?
I do, because I'm like, are you dumb? Like just straight up, because I feel like a lot of people, look, industry plants today are a lot harder to come across. They really are than before, because I think people don't hate to acknowledge the fact that social media plays a part in a lot of that.
Absolutely.
You can manipulate social media, but you can't manipulate album sales like that. You really can't. Like, if you do the album sales, you look at, okay, this person might have sold this much or whatever. And then you go to, like, a tour, girl, those are people that are actually going to show up. You know what I mean? So
I feel like tours is definitely the real indicator.
Absolutely. So, like, that kind of contrast, like, girl, I mean, look, I don't know. Like I said, I'm on, like, the good side of what's going on and things. I keep my peaky blinders on.
Understood.
But, yeah, when they be like, more of an industry plan, because how he go from this to now, I was like, he reckon Fat Joe. I said, girl, please look at the last 10 years of tweets. But, yeah, like, again, on the film side, like, I just wanted to be intentional about that, because I know that narrative can come very quickly. A lot of people can turn on you when you give them so much of yourself too quickly. And I want to have longevity in this industry. I want to be here. I want to be Quincy Jones. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be like D-Mile, who's been producing for years and, you know, worked on Janet's Feedback. And now he's Mr. Grammy Award winning Victoria Monet, Lucky Day. Like, that's where I'm trying to be. But yeah, the film stuff, now that I'm done with Miss B, so crazy to say. Now I see, like, I'm starting to pour back into myself, because the last few years that I taking a break of like dropping original music, I've been working on other people's work and projects, but I'm realizing again my place in this industry, and that I have a voice, and through the music I have a voice, through the film work I have a voice. So the next couple of things, you'll probably see me, I'm just thinking narrative wise, like musically supervising a film. That'll probably be like the next step. I'm having some conversations, and then through that, like directing. Like I've written some scripts, and I've talked to a lot of great people, like Archie Davis. Shout out to Archie Davis. He works over at like Proximity Media with Ryan and all those people. So like really good people that can see the vision that I have. Just waiting for the right moment to pop out. You know, okay. I want to put this. I'm working on my next music project right now. Thank the Lord, I could actually start dropping stuff again. So after that, I'll kind of like pivot to the film side.
Beautiful.
You know, I'll be kind of done for a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you in saying how the past few years you've had to pour into other people's cup, and you know, it could be, especially as a creative, a little, and I'm not saying this happened for you, but for me, like when I do that sometimes, like I be feeling not the most like full of love, or It's not the most happy because I'm not getting my creative outlet out.
Right.
But I will say when I am going through those phases, it's kind of just like iron sharpening iron. You know what I mean? So it's like you're sharpening your iron against, Queen Bee. That's one of the sharpest blades you could possibly
ever do. Yeah, for sure.
So,
and you can pour that back into yourself. And that's the biggest way to look at it.
Yes.
Even when you look at, like, as a director, right? The best directors know every single department. They know the art department. They know grip and electric. So any vocabulary that these people are bringing up to you, you got to know what they're talking about.
Yep.
But also the main focus is to work with the actors and to cultivate performances and to bring them to a place. And for me, when I look at, like, my career and just, like, okay, I might have had to take a step back to work on somebody else's project, which I have no problem doing because as much as I've always said, oh, I'm going to be a star, I also was totally okay with being behind the scenes. I did not need any of this. Like, this came out of nowhere.
That shit overrated.
It's overrated. You walk in like, hey, like, girl, in my face, I'm eating Cheetos. Like, wait a minute, But again, I'm taking every experience day by day and just, learning how to pour that back into myself. All this, the mashups, the DJing, like, I can't even fully say that's like a passion of mine. Yeah. But it's something that I love doing in my free time. Right. It's in my arsenal and your skill sets. That's what's most important. So, if I was to look 10 years from now, hopefully have, a film or two out, do some, musical supervision on some music projects and some film projects, have my own music project out every once in a while. I'm trying to be like a Sade. You know what I mean? Where she just disappear for a little while, the whole group, they just come back, drop some fire. Like, that's how you have longevity. Like, you do not need to drop every 5 months. I don't see the point. Like, I would drive myself insane doing that because I feel like the quality would suffer. So no, when I pop out, I'll pop out and it'll be very soon.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. Quantity over quality for sure. No, quality. Don't listen, kids. Quality over quantity.
It took a second. I said, sometimes. Sometimes, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
But also just like seizing the moment. You know what I mean? Like it's all about timing and intentionality. Like, okay, if there's somebody like, okay, if I just finished working with Ms. B and it's like, okay, that's like a lot of eyeballs on me now. I gained so many more followers and people that support systems. So I'm like, okay, well, I took a little break. Now it's time to like get back in the studio and start cooking up because now you have a whole new support system that's watching you.
I know. I'm actually curious to hear what the new sound is going to sound like now with this new shared life experiences.
It's I think that's something that I definitely like when I am trying to like again cultivate a narrative. I want it to be very clear about because I feel like so many things happened for me so fast in 2020. Like I went from being broke, eating ramen noodles, sitting in my living room with no furniture, just DJing, to now I'm,
So all that we saw on camera was all that you had?
That's all that I had.
Stop. And the Xbox somewhere.
The Xbox and the PlayStation, like a little TV and like an air mattress. Like, because 2020 was hard. Like, I had just had to... I was kicked out of the place I was living in LA. I have nowhere else to go in my mind. I was like, I'm going to just go back to my community that I have. I did not want to go home. Yeah, that was one thing. I was like, I love my family, but like, I'm a man. I can make it work. If it was really like, if I couldn't figure it out, then I have that safety and support system. But again, to go from that to like a month later, like Oprah's getting you a laptop and all this other stuff. It was like, I just had to make sure that I was really clear in the narrative that I was building for myself. And there were some hard lessons that I had to learn through that. I remember I was doing the video shoot with Kelly for the Finally record that we had on my project. And I love Kelly so much. She is such a sweetheart. But she don't play. You know what I mean? She gently pulled me to the side, was like, can you come here? I said, when Kelly calls you, you come over. And she was like, so why are you not speaking up? I was like, what you mean? She was like, I could see it all over your face. I was like, oh. Like, what can you see? She's like, you need to know that everyone's here working for you. And you don't have to be rude about it, but like if this is not your vision, you say something. And that again changed my perspective because I'm a people pleaser. When I go on the set, I meet everybody. I meet the caterer, I meet the security, I talk to everyone, what's your name? But like I never wanted to make people feel like they're doing too much. She was like, whose pocket is this coming out of? I was like, mine and my label. She's like, so you make them do what they have to do. You don't have to be rude about it. But again, like that just helped me going into this next project of like, I want to make sure that I'm crafting the right narrative for what I want people to see of me. And within that, you also have to understand that like again, people are going to craft their own narratives. That's what music is about. They're going to come to their own interpretations. You could scream for the heaven-tops, this is who I am, and people will not care. They say, no, we know you better than you think you do.
Yeah.
But musically, I just want to make sure that, like, not only does it feel good, but it feels good for me, that it feels like the best representation of me. I only had like 3 weeks to do the last project, so that was not fun. Girl, I was like in the set during the day, at night in the studio, just cooking.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
But
like,
that's fries the brain, though. You can't, like, I don't like that.
I ain't like it either, but you know what? I can't even be mad because it was for a good reason.
Yeah,
it was for a good reason.
Good.
Like, you know, it was because of the timing of certain deals that I had. Like, and it was really good looks. So I wasn't mad at it, but like, I know that I've been taking my time with this project, and I've been talking to my girls. I've been talking to my sisters that I want on it, and just like, again, I think the fact that I got so many great artists, the Brandy, Kehlani, Ray, Bree Runway, all those people in my last project, it wasn't just because I was popping at the moment. It's because I genuinely reached out, like, as a fan, as someone that was just like, hey, like, I don't care if this is for my project or not, but like, I would love to just get to know you and just like give you, again, your flowers. And, you know, by the grace of God, they were just like, I love your spirit. I'm getting on it. So I trust that going into this next project, and it's gonna be a fun one.
Man, I love that.
Thank you, sister.
Honestly, that Kelly story is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time I ever told that story, because I'm like, there's certain moments that you want to keep to yourself, but just within like the space, like I feel like it's very, again, easy for you to block your own blessings. And I think about myself like, okay, that was my first performance on national television. If I didn't start speaking up or asking questions of like, why are we spending money on this when we should be having this, or we should be having more dancers, or X, Y, and Z, I would be living with that. Because you said it, I'm a Capricorn, so there's a level of perfection to my head. You know, I'd be like, dang, and the whole time I'd be thinking like, Kelly told me to say something. And when she looks at you like, say something, I'm sorry. Like, sweetest person in the world, but something about it, when she look at me, I'm like, all right, I gotta speak up. It's like, it's, commander, no pun intended. So beautiful spirit, and I credit her a lot to that.
So fire. Yeah, man, I feel like a lot of times between like the internet and just working in the music industry, you can almost like believe the shit people say, you know what I mean? So I always appreciate people who like give you that self-confidence.
Absolutely. And it helps with your self-assurance, because at the end of the day, like, everyone needs support. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? Even the most narcissistic people, that's why half the reason why they are narcissistic.
They need the most support.
Right. Because they go out to other people to support them. You know what I mean? Literally. But all the people that I've worked with, every single person that I've been in the studio with, or even just like in passing time with, like even Victoria, someone that I've been a fan of, like from the beginning. When she was in her girl group.
Having her fucking moment. This shit is crazy.
And I remember being in the studio, and like you said about fanning out, well, there's certain times where like, okay, I'm definitely not going to fan out. You know, like around Miss B, like I would just do my work. But with Victoria, I was just like, hold up, no. Because I've been following your journey, and like I just remember being there. It was me, her, and baby Hazel and her mom, and I started crying because I'm like, first of all, I can't believe I'm here, but I also know, like, for you, I know what you've been through, in this industry. I've read every interview, girl. You know what I mean? And for her to get the flowers that she's getting now, it's just, when you talk about someone that's really genuine and deserves it, she is one of them. And that's, again, to everyone that I work with. They've all treated me great. So
Inspire.
Shout out to Victoria.
Yeah, shout out to Victoria. I don't know.
It's Grammy nominated for your own music, period.
What, 7?
Seven, Grammy record of the year for my mama.
Really, if she don't get video of the year though, I'm gonna be hot.
Okay, cause shout out to Sean Bankhead.
Yeah,
shout out to Sean Bankhead, because he has been eating the girls up. I know there's an artist, Tate McRae. She's a pop girl. She just dropped her music video, and I was looking at the choreo. I said, I know that Sean. You know what I mean?
I know that
Sean.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to see, like, just beautiful black people doing what they gotta do. Like, I know you've been on social media the last few days. You've seen what's been going on, and again, it's like we're just so blessed to be in such protected spaces. Man,
it's been a rough week in hip hop. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta turn my phone
But it's
down.
about time. Honestly, I really do. Yes. Because a lot of people are, afraid to speak about certain things. And for someone who has been through, a lot of difficult stuff from my childhood, I'm very outspoken about that type of stuff where it's like you just have to, because we're the generation of change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people like they don't like to name names or call anybody out, but at the same time it's like somebody got to be the whistleblower to get the ball moving.
I know. I think the stance that I take on things like this is like where we're at with like cancel culture, for example, is that we have to teach some people that this is wrong.
Yes.
And I understand that, like, with power, and especially coming from, like, you know, someone who's been in the game for such a long time, things was different.
Right.
But now this is where we're at. So, like, shit just can't continue.
Right.
So I believe in giving people grace.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying for anybody in particular.
No, just like, in general.
Just in
blanket
general.
statement.
I do believe in giving people grace. But, like, once you repeat and you're not willing to change to, like, what the norms are now, then that's, like, a problem.
Yeah, if you're not willing to look within the mirror. And again, like, nobody is perfect. And, like, at the end of the day, who am I to judge anybody? Girl, I am not. Please, let's get this very twisted.
Yeah.
But, again, I just think it's important, especially as you talk about cancel culture, like, even just like Twitter, you know what I mean? Like I was on Twitter in 2009 and 2010. I had to make sure that I sweep whatever because who know? I'm pretty sure I ain't say. I'm pretty sure I ain't say nothing crazy, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to make sure of that, but also like because a lot of people get off on canceling people.
Yeah.
But it's not like really canceling people.
Right.
So I'm all about like actual action, like especially when it's something like really, really worth it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues where I feel like, okay, it's just like people just be going off on Twitter just to go off about. But like when it's, you know, a situation of like harm to like, you know, our beautiful black women industry or like, you know, the queer community, I think that's something that's like, okay, you want to cancel somebody? Okay, we could talk about canceling them, but also like, they're not the only one. And that's my biggest thing. Y'all always like to attract, like, you go after one person, but then y'all just be sitting there, like, let's have a movement about this.
Man, I be feeling like, I don't know, because I know so many people who know stuff. We all know so many people who know stuff or who have experienced things. Why don't people
say something?
Why?
Because power. I'm saying that somebody that don't know. Like, if I knew something, girl, again, Instagram. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, you know, life is too short. Like, I couldn't live with that just through what I've been through. But that's always been like a frustrating stance for me, where it's like, don't have me in a room with somebody that you know is like, because that makes me question you. And enablers are very, very real in this industry. And you talk about, you know, the Me Too movement and Harvey Weinstein, like it's something on the film side. It's like, girl, it's about time. Yeah, no. I just want hip hop to be a better space.
Yes.
A better space. It could be a safe space for everybody.
I agree with you.
And I guess that's like another reason why, like, for me, I was so like big on that moment, even with Fat Joe and Khaled, of like, they come from an era of hip hop that is, no shade, extremely homophobic. Let's just like put it out there. It is. But for them to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna work with this kid because he know what the hell he doing. And that meant a lot for me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna use that platform to like show something and not just like be passive about it. And I just think that's important, you know, again.
It's actually very beautiful.
I mean, it has to be. Like, life is too short. We could be gone tomorrow, and I just want to make sure that, like, my imprint outside of the music, girl, forget the mashups and the mixes. Like, they cute, whatever. But to actually leave something and to know, like, if I see, you know, a woman artist of mine or, you know, a friend that I have and she's going through something, for them to know, like, I'm not going to just sit there and just let it happen. Yeah. You know, I'm not afraid of any of these men or whoever is doing this stuff, you know, and we have to be that change. Yeah. I just think that's important. So I always try to use my voice to speak out about that. Like I said, I ain't naming no names, but at the same time, it's like, if I knew any names myself,
I'm saying that.
Yes, because we have to change it. We have to change it. No, and I know we can.
Yeah.
I know we can. We got to hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah, man, people hate accountability.
Yeah, they do. Like, everybody loves to play the victim.
What?
And that's something like, I think over the last few weeks, I know I'm going off. But
no, but you ain't lying.
I think over the last few weeks, I've gone through certain things where it's like, okay, maybe old me will look at me as like the victim in that situation. But at the same time, it's like that might be what it is in terms of like the actual, you break it down, dictionary definition. But I do think there's certain things like a victim mentality to have.
100%.
Where you blame everything on something that happened in the past. It is like, okay, when are you going to do the work to get out of that? Right.
Man, yes.
When are you going to do it?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't even think they realize that it's trauma. You know, they're just, like, I don't think they realize. Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nobody in particular that I'm thinking about, but it's just like, I'm just speaking again from my own, like, reckoning that I had to deal with that. Like, even with the stuff that I went through in my childhood, which was very traumatic. I had to just wake up one day, I think it was like 2012 or whatever. I was really young. But I had to wake up one day, I was like, girl, it's done. You can't take that back.
Yeah.
So the only thing that you could hopefully do, you have two choices. You can either, and that's not to discount anyone's journey with trauma. Everybody has their different story. Right. But for me, I was just like, hold up. I'm way too young to be sitting up here thinking about not being here on this earth anymore. I need to make a choice. Do I want to let what happened to me have this amount of power over me to never be in a position of happiness in the future? Or am I going to figure out a way to accept what happened? You know, I don't have to necessarily be rah-rah about it. It's horrible, but... you know, do the work. Maybe I ask my parents to take me to therapy. Maybe I'm upfront with them. And not everybody has that support system, but, you know, I always just like, again, I'm an advocate for like, you may be a victim, but you don't have to be a victim forever. You know? Might have been in that moment, but girl, you could take power.
I love that. That was
period.
This was beautiful.
Period. It's giving Preacher's Kid.
This might be my favorite one this week. I gotta say, so good.
Love that.
All right, let's play a game.
Period.
Before we get into the game, we're gonna ask you 2 holiday questions.
Oh, okay.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to be in one holiday film, which one would you be in?
Last Holiday.
Last Holiday?
Listen, I just found out that Queen Latifah followed me. And I literally had like a whole freak out.
Love Queen.
She liked something on my Instagram. I was like, let me check her account.
You need to work with Flavor Unit.
Let me make some calls. Mr. Manager, when you watch this, like, let's get some stuff popping.
That would be dope. Yeah. I love Queen. She's one person I'm dying to meet. Like, I can't.
And you can just, again, you can feel it on the screen. You can see it through the music. And see it through the movies.
Yeah.
Hear it in the music. She's just a genuine spirit. So shout out to Queen.
Yeah,
that's work, sis.
Shout out to Queen. And then, be honest, is it the thought that counts?
Huh?
Is it the thought that counts?
Just in general?
Mm-hmm. End scene.
It's hilarious. Yeah. That's my response.
Oh my God, nah, that's funny. Okay, and then okay, when do you put up Christmas decorations?
Well, I haven't like done that in a minute, but I've been busy. You know what I mean? Like my birthday's on New Year's Eve, so I'm like I get the double whammy. It's like celebrate Christmas, celebrate birthday. I'm like I'm just gonna choose my birthday. But when I was younger, you know, with my mom, I think we set them up like right after Thanksgiving. So Friday,
yes.
We was out getting the trees and all that stuff, and you know, play a little Mariah Carey around the house.
She doing it right.
You know, period. Right. Yeah, she doing it right. I gotta bring that tradition back.
Yes.
At some point. Maybe not this year.
The older we get, the more you'd be like, damn, today Christmas? Like, you know, Thanksgiving's next week.
Wow.
Did you realize that? Thanksgiving is next week.
I'm just there for the food. Give me a plate.
I know.
Period.
We just really grown now. I hate it here.
I hate it.
All right. Now it is fill in the blank, non-holiday related.
Oh, okay.
The older I get, the less I blank.
The older I get, the less I dream.
Dream? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're a manifester.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I feel like the older that I've gotten, I've been a little bit in my head about my dreams. They kind of scare me sometimes. Because they're just too vivid. And I'm like, wait, because I've really been manifesting certain things in my life. So I'm like, I'm just going to let that go.
Can you manifest me being a billionaire? Just sprinkle that in there with you. With the next one.
I got you. Let's see. Let me tweet it out.
Yes,
Let me tweet it out.
Then I'm going to be like, see, I told you. This one is different.
Period.
All right. I can't believe I actually blinked when I was younger. No, you must have been a bad kid. Why did you just zoom out like that?
Oh my God. Am I going to tell the story? I am. I can't believe that I threw a Cabbage Patch doll at my mother when I was young.
No,
I sure did.
Not the Cabbage Patch doll.
I did. You know what? I was trying to impress my family. They thought it was funny, my little badass cousins and siblings. And I took that Cabbage Patch doll while she was asleep. And just went, well, I don't know how I didn't get my behind whipped. And I was such a good kid. I don't know why I did it. But you know what? That scarred me. That look when she woke up, I said, never mind.
I'm so sorry.
You know when your parents are like, I can take you out of it and I brought you. That's one of those times I was like, she was right. Because imagine being in your sleep. Your deep sleep and your child, them hard-headed ass Cabbage Patch dolls. Sorry, mommy, you know I love you. I love you.
No, that's true. Yo, parents, I have that with my parents too. They don't even really gotta say anything. The look alone, I'm like, all right, I know. I love that though.
All the hard work paid off. I know. I'm sure you're happy about that knot on your head now, right? You know, I'm paying some bills now.
Yo, facts. That's so funny. Okay, I'm a little embarrassed by the fact that I know so little about blank.
Oh, that's a. What do I know a little about?
Anything you want to learn more about?
Oh, okay. Astrology. Because all this, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little fake. You know, it's like because everyone's like uses it as a talking point. Like, oh, what's your sign? I'm like, I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means. I really don't.
You really don't.
I mean, I know what people say. I know people are like, yeah, whatever. We could be stubborn, hard-headed, perfectionist, but like, what does that mean? Like, if you ask me what the hell a Scorpio was, I'd be like, what time is that in the chart anyway? Like, I don't know. Like May or something? That's a Taurus.
Right after you. I mean, right before you.
Oh, no, that's Sagittarius.
No, Sag is right before you.
I know
before
a little
them is Scorpio.
Oh, well. So Scorpio season's now?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
About to go into Sag, though.
I love that for them. I don't know nothing about it.
They spicy, but they cool.
But see, you know, I'm going to just connect with you. See,
yes,
you can,
I love astrology.
We're going to do a chart.
I got you. Yeah, because I'm curious about yours. You said you're emotional. Then you said you got mad Aquarius, and I'm like, that don't make no sense.
It don't. I don't know. Maybe somebody got it wrong.
We're going to see. Sometimes I look back at my life and blank.
Sometimes I look back at my life and cry. And it can be happy tears, sad tears. You know, sometimes I can get in that space of like, it's important to grieve your past. That's something I will never run away from. You know, anything that I've been through, you know, as hard as it could have been, I make sure that I take that moment in time whenever I'm feeling it to feel it. Yeah. Especially for Black men. I feel like there's definitely like a thing of like, you show any sign of weakness, which I don't consider that weak, then you're emasculated or whatever. And so for me, I just wanted to make sure I always had like a safe space within my own brain and my own heart to like allow myself to grieve that. Yeah. But then sometimes I cry because I'm like, okay, I went through all that and I just want to Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like I have a true testimony through it. So yeah,
that testimony is crazy, man. I can't wait to just continue to watch your career blossom.
Likewise.
Damn,
I would be checking in on you. I'd be like, how do you feel about all this sister? All your success.
Add me to the group chat.
Okay, period.
I made a complete fool of myself when I blinked.
NDA. But you know what? I'm gonna say another story. I'm gonna say another story.
I don't want to get in trouble by them either. So I'm gonna ask you another question.
No, I'll say I made a complete fool of myself. I feel like I made a complete fool of myself in my first session with Kehlani on one specific part. And we laughed about it, so it's fine. I didn't really know about Kehlani's personal life because I wasn't interested. There's no shade to them, but I was just like, I'm not the type of person where it's like all up in the blogs and the guys were right. So there was a couple of times where like you were working on the track and I was like, oh, maybe I want like a feature or something. And I didn't have cognizant awareness of some of the things that happen in the industry, you know what I mean? And, even to the point of like, I was pronouncing their name wrong. Oh. And I thought I had it right. I was like, Kehlani this, Kehlani that. They were like, it's Kehlani. And they laughed about it. Like, it wasn't like that kind of way, but I was like, damn, I feel like I should have known that. Like, because I'm a fan. Like, I love you, sister. Like, please. Yeah, I for the last, it was like a few days after that I was in my head about that. I said, I hope they still want to put this song out.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope they really see it.
I feel like, yes, don't feel bad. I've done that too.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I've said people's name wrong in front of them, wrong thing. They'd be like,
but
that's why I always ask them, Amorphous.
Okay, because what was you going to say? Amorphous?
Amorphous, yeah.
And that'd be so funny. They'd be like, you that dude from the Matrix, right? I'm like, no.
It does sound, literally that was, yeah.
Maybe I should have, maybe I should just make a look.
No.
Because that man, he was kind of iconic in the movies, right?
Definitely was.
But you know what? I work with Beyonce. He didn't.
We got icons right here, okay?
Okay. Trademarked, period.
And then lastly is, my personality trait is what?
Kindness. Kindness and
yeah.
grace. You know, as much as like it's cool and cute to like laugh and talk shit, you know, especially with your friends in the group chat, I think I have operated from a level of kindness because that's how I want to be treated. I think at the end of the day, like, I have poured so much of myself into other people to the point where I haven't received that back, which has let me show my kindness, like the grace that I extend people. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I'm just at a point in my life where I'm making sure that I don't change that about myself and become bitter or jaded, as we were talking about earlier. And I just use better discernment. But I think I'll always be kind.
I love that.
I hold the door for people, and at the movie theaters, they don't be saying nothing. I don't need a thing. I don't do it for that. But like, I just think I'm just a naturally kind person when I meet people for the first time. If I'm meeting like a barista or, you know, even the security, you know, you're at the building. I'm like, hey, like, how's your life going? Like, are you doing good today? Are you okay? Because that's important.
That is. Treat people like people.
Like because they are.
Because they are.
We're all
I know. People probably ain't treating you like people no more.
Nah. But you know what? That's okay because I'm going to just surround myself with people that do. And that's how that matters, you know. We got to give ourselves grace in those moments.
Yeah. This is amazing.
I was telling your lovely friend over there, I'm kind of matching the couch. It's kind of a look.
Yeah, you kind of are.
You know, in the back. Wait a minute. Like, I can't see. That's how you know I was a fan. Because I ain't really planning this, but I think subconsciously I was like,
I'm going to make sure.
That I show
my
out.
angle look good. Yes.
But this was beautiful, Nyla. Thank you so much for allowing me to just be here and talk with you.
Of course. You're invited back anytime.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to come back. You know, we're going to have to do a special episode because I want to know more about you.
Oh, okay.
We might have to do a special episode where it's flipped around.
All right, we can.
Okay, because again, your story and your journey is just as iconic to me.
Oh, thank you.
Again, like just working under Miss Angie. Period. Yeah. Period. You're so special. You really are.
Man. Thank you.
And so is Miss Angie. Special too, sister. Hello. Beautiful.
Shout out to your grandma. Everybody know where they can tap in and follow.
You said my grandma?
Your grandma. Oh. Damn, it's me. It's me.
Oh.
The second person is me who said that. My grandma.
Hey, grandma. I'm going to see you on Thanksgiving. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Amorphous. We just wrapped up here with Nyla. You can follow me on Instagram at @theofficialamorphous. I will spell it out for you. AMORPHOUS. If you just search it, you might find like whatever material it actually is. It's like a blog or something. But if you look it up on Google, you'll find my social media. I'm around.
He outside.
I'm outside.
Until next time we talk, guys.
Period.
Peace.
This is so much fun.